Hey, Grant Cardone here. Welcome back to Ask a Pro. Today I have somebody, Adam Michaels, guy with two first names.
That's right. Just to confuse
Dude,
people.
Look at the outfit too, dude. I mean, did you do this yourself?
I did.
He matched the shirt to the little pocket thing to the boom. Is that custom? Is that a custom suit?
Yeah, of course, man.
What that suit cost, man?
I got a good suit guy.
I'm looking at. Yeah.
So he always does packages because he's a good salesman.
So what do you think? How much?
12, 1,800, something like that range.
All right. Okay. Still more than I spend.
Yeah, but I mean, you got hair. I got to try and make this look good.
You're right. I got hair here too.
Yeah.
I got hair everywhere right now.
I got.
So,
it's hard.
Adam, just so everybody knows, I saw this cat do a video. I think it was on YouTube, or maybe I ran into your podcast channel.
Elevate with Adam.
Elevate with Adam
on Facebook mostly.
And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, man, love it. That doesn't happen to me a lot, and it happened with you. So I invited you down here. I really appreciate you taking the time to come from LA, all the way to Miami. Who'd you fly in?
I flew in on Delta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, we're going to be talking to Adam about sales leadership. He's got 5,000 salespeople that work for him. Okay, now, I got 50 that drive me crazy. He's got 5,000, so that's why he doesn't have any hair.
That's probably true. That and marriage.
So what do you know about sales leadership, and sales management that other people don't know and need to know?
I mean, I think you got to. I mean, you game knows game, right? And you have to actually be a practitioner. I think one of the biggest challenges that sales leaders find is that the further they get away from the actual dirtiness of being in the field, is they lose connection, and so that their teaching, their coaching, their mentorship really starts to move away. Like I was in admiration. I walked in here this morning. You were doing your Monday morning meeting, and the first thing out of my mouth was
my Wednesday morning meeting.
Yeah, Wednesday meeting. Sorry,
my Thursday morning, my Friday morning, my Saturday. Every day we're here, we start with a meeting.
And I think that's the essence of great leadership, is that you're in it still. You don't ever get above the fray where you lose connection and contact with what the real challenge is.
So what he's saying is game knows game. If you're going to bring the people, if you're going to elevate these people, like, you got to be in the trenches.
Right.
Not just on the sidelines watching the game.
And you have to be working to improve your skills, right?
You're talking about who? The leader? The sales leader?
The leader. Yeah. I mean, the minute you think that you know everything, you're in real trouble.
Right.
Right. You got to constantly be growing and pushing, and a lot of times you're the conduit for additional information, right? So if you're not refining your skills, if you're not observant of what's going on in the marketplace and adjusting, the organization will go off a cliff. And once it goes off a cliff, man, mutiny on the bounty, right? You're going to walk the plank. You're gone. They're going to find another leader. And so if you're not on top of it, if you're not staying tight, you're going to end up with real challenges.
So how does the sales leader do that? Stay in the trenches, keep his hands dirty, like you referred to, and still manage, lay out programs, budgets, and how do you do everything that you're doing? Because that's what people ask me constantly.
I think the first thing is you surround yourself with really talented people, right? You realize that you don't have a monopoly on ideas. And I think there's this other thing, is that you have to focus on doing the things that only you can do, and empower other people to do the things that you can get away with 80% as effective of what you can do, or 60% as effective of what you can do. And when you find great people, you need to reward them, and you need to financially reward them, treat them right, treat them like family, and that gives your the ability to scale a whole lot more. And so I think that that's the essence of really getting big, right? When you want to have a large organization. I have 13 great people that report directly to me, that I have conversations with all the time, that I'm engaging with at a high level. The next layer of management, they've got about 60 people that report to them, and then 500 to report to those guys. And so you can't be everything to every single person. It's kind of why I started with the social media. I wanted to be able to have a 5-minute conversation with every single one of my leaders every single week, and it's just kind of grown legs on its own.
Yeah. So it's grown past the 13 to the 60 to people that you didn't even know that aren't part of your organization.
I guess when you have something to teach, when the content's good, like what hit a nerve with you, I guess is hitting a nerve with other people as well. And so, it's kind of growing and becoming more than what it was.
His website is adamhmichaels.com, adamhmichaels.com. The podcast, though, is
Elevate with Adam.
Elevate with Adam. Maybe we'll get him on our network, man. Have his content dropped on the network.
Love it.
For the podcast. So How did you get in the sales game, man? I mean, why you? And in addition to that question, or is everybody meant for sales, or is it just people like you?
Man, no, there's a whole lot of people that have no business in sales, right? Their communication skills are suspect. They don't like people. They crumble in the face of adversity, right? How we deal with adversity in sales defines what we become, right? Some people cower and go and suck their thumb in the fetal position in the quarter, and others, break through that adversity to success. And I think that, all the time there are people that misrepresent who they are in an interview. And I'm a salesperson, and then as soon as they, hit some challenge, right? You talk about massive action, but inaction is an action also, and they go the opposite direction, and they they probably should have never been in sales in the first place.
Why not? What says that Robert or John or me or you should not be involved in sales? Is there some indicators? Is there so that people watch and be like, dude, I'm just going to check, Xing that one off. I'm not going to even try anymore.
What? Listen, I think there's a lot of people that should go into sales that aren't salespeople. And I think that everybody should be an entrepreneur, which requires either sales, leadership, or analytics. And you got to be damn good at two of the three, right? Sales, leadership, or analytics. And you've got to be good at two of those three to be a successful entrepreneur. Right? You can hire somebody to do the other piece. So if you're not a great salesperson, you can hire a great salesperson, but you better know what's going on in the business. You better be a good leader. But for me, I've always been a salesperson. I was a little kid on the back of the school bus selling bubble gum, and that turned into going door to door to sell snow removal services on annual contracts.
Yeah. Tell me about the annual contracts, because I like this idea.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, about 50 miles south of Manhattan on the coast near Asbury Park, and it didn't snow that much, which meant that people were ill prepared when it did snow.
Yeah, opportunity.
And I'm 13 years old. I got a shovel in the garage, right? It snows. I'm no school. I'm out there shoveling snow, and I get done, make a couple $100, and I'm like, God, that's a lot of work. That's hard.
Yeah.
And so I took the money.
And you're just waiting for it to snow again.
Just waiting for it to snow again. But
please snow again.
But always trying to become more effective and make more money and scale.
Yeah.
I went out and bought a snowblower. Right, and so then it snowed again.
Invested in his business.
And I went out and I used a snowblower, and I snowblowed a lot more snow. And I was thinking, gosh, this is a lot of work.
Please snow again.
This is a lot of work, and it really is horrible. And so but I love the money. Right? At the time, I was buying a bad collection of baseball cards. Right? 13, I wasn't even dating yet. But I love and I love the build more than the reward. And we talked about that earlier on.
Yeah.
Like the satisfaction of having a pile of money and doing snow angels on your bed, was really what drove me.
I like that idea a lot, actually.
and so the following year, I decided, what's a better way to do this?
Yeah.
Right. And what I did was I lived in this townhouse community where you were responsible to clean your driveway. So I went door to door at all 320, I'm 14 years old, 320 places, and I hit it 3-4 times. And I got, I think, 280 of them on an annual contract. They paid me $100 for the season as opposed to $40 per. Right, and I left a couple flyers, and at the end of the day, it didn't snow a whole lot that season.
So he sold an annual contract, and this is what I want to ask you about. What's going on in your head, dude? Because that's not how salespeople think.
Yeah.
So you're thinking different than a salesman now. You're thinking about money, finances, futures. You don't want to actually go back and sell the guy again.
Well, no, because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, right? It was a lot of work.
But that's different than what salespeople do. So you're thinking now, how do I multiply my time?
See, now I'm learning things.
Well, you're not. That's not how salespeople think. Salespeople think, I'm gonna make another call. You thought, hey, I'm gonna finish this guy. I know this guy will give me 40, so I'm gonna get him to give me 100 for the whole season. Yeah. Sell him one time, 2.5 times more money, and sell him one time.
Right.
Why were you thinking like that?
I don't know. I think that the work of doing the sales, right?
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be able to allow me to scale, and I figured if it snowed a lot, then I would just hire the kids in the neighborhood to do the work, and I could sit at home and drink hot chocolate.
Yeah. How'd you do that season? Did it snow a lot?
It didn't snow a lot.
It didn't snow. He lucked out.
So I lucked out, but I had the plan in place.
But you see, he's already in the insurance business at 14 years old. Because insurance, what they do is they promise to pay you something when you wreck it, hurt it, or diet.
Or burns.
Diet.
Yeah.
Die. But they already know, look, man, out of 1 million people, not everybody's going to die at the same time. Hey, this is Grant Cardone. You're watching this man, Adam Michaels, Ask a Pro. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Ask a Pro. I have Adam Michaels with me today. We're talking about sales. This guy's a sales leader, 5,000 salespeople underneath him. He's in the insurance industry. He's talking about things like sales psychology, okay? Like how to get inside the guy's mind, man. What's really going on in the situation? And I'm doing a little sales psychology on him. So just challenged him about like, dude, you're not being a salesperson right there. Back at 14 years old, you were being a businessman when you were figuring out how to scale. Why do so many salespeople, great salespeople, miss that point?
I would say it's probably, although at 14 years old I didn't have coaching.
Yeah.
I think probably coaching, right? I think mentorship. I think direction.
So
I think there's some people that have
Who was coaching?
I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My father was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Taught me work ethic. He's a building contractor. My mother was a commission salesperson. I don't think it was. I think it was probably happenstance. I think I probably just fell on it by accident.
Yeah, but man, look, man, a lot of kids, man, they get $40. They're not doing another yard.
Yeah.
They're going to get that 40 and they're going to the store. You didn't do that. You look for another neighbor, you're praying for freaking snow. Please pray, please drop the snow again. Because you want, why did you want more? And then figure out how to scale out to an annual contract.
It's a great question. It's a great question. And I think you asked a question earlier: is everybody meant for sales? Right? Should everyone go into sales? And I think that there are certain qualities of great salespeople, and I think that not everyone should go into it. Just like not everyone should be a doctor, not everyone should be a lawyer. But entrepreneurism for me is the answer, right? Because entrepreneurism doesn't care if you went to college or you didn't go to college at all. It doesn't care if you're white or black or Hispanic, gay, lesbian, transgender.
It does care if
Republican,
you make
Democrat. It rewards effort and talent.
Yeah.
That's it. And so to me, sales and entrepreneurism are the same.
So don't you think you were more of an entrepreneur at 13 and 14 than you were a salesman?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're running 5,000 salespeople now.
Yeah.
That's not a sales guy.
No, I've always been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I like the building part more than the selling part.
Yeah.
Some people love the thrill of the kill.
Yeah.
I love when my people go out and make sales and and we grow. Today for me it's about creating an environment where entrepreneurs and salespeople can come and thrive. And what I'm trying to do, what I actually want is entrepreneurs. And what I try to provide is an environment
more than salespeople.
More than salespeople.
And I totally agree with that.
And what I want to do is I want to become. So you want to become ubiquitous as a sales trainer, right? I want to become ubiquitous as the place to go to learn how to become a successful entrepreneur, so that you can then go on and become other things, whether it's an end in and of itself or a means to an end. And so we were talking about this earlier on, but people are coming to you for success. I ultimately want my organization to be the place that every entrepreneur who lacks either the idea, the capital to start their business, or the know-how to say that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go and learn. I want to go, connect with that guy and learn what it takes. And I don't expect it to be forever. I want to, if I can be.
They're not going to stay.
No, I mean they're going to learn what they can from me, and then they're going to go out, right? I want it to be a launch pad.
Yeah.
And I think that's always been the intention for me. Is if I could. Someone once said to me that the ultimate test of a leader is to plant a seed for a tree that you never intend to sit under its shade. Right, is to put your fingerprints on somebody's success and somehow make them attribute some level of their success to you. Because at the end of the day, that's your legacy. Right, is this and so that's ultimately my objective in my organization is to give people the skills.
So let's talk about. I love that, man. I love that. But you got 5,000 people that you're doing that with right now. Okay, so you get in the sales industry. You've been in that industry what 20 years?
22 years?
So you get in that industry. Why insurance?
fell into it pretty much by mistake. Got tired, was working as a sales guy doing transactional stock sales, right?
Okay.
And knew that I didn't really love financial planning, knew that wasn't direction, saw the industry changing. And my degree in communication and understanding persuasion knew that the number one most important element in order to have a successful persuasive event is credibility. And the number one way to gain credibility is to be introduced by someone who's perceived as credible. And I understood that there was one person in everybody's life that lived in a nicer house and drove a nicer car and knew more about financial matters, at least perceptually, than the average American. And that wasn't always their parents, but it was always their boss. And I thought if I could get the boss of the world to introduce me to their employees, I could, change the trajectory of people's lives, right? The common working person's life by educating them on financial matters and things of that nature. And ultimately, obviously that also led to a lot more sales, right? A referral is the easiest sell you can make.
So you're saying credibility is the number one thing. Number two is to be introduced by someone that's credible.
Best way to gain credibility, introduced by someone who's perceived as credible.
But what's this got to do with insurance?
So I understood the power of worksite marketing in its infancy.
Worksite
marketing. And
where you would go to a worksite?
I would go to the business owner. The business owner would understand the value proposition. I wanted to help the employees achieve,
You would do a meeting for the employees?
Exactly.
Sell insurance
so
to
just
everybody.
like 401ks or...
Yeah, well, that's how I started my business. I mean, I was selling tickets to a seminar.
Yeah. So voluntary insurance...
I didn't know this thing about the be introduced by the boss, though. I went in there thinking, I know everything here. I didn't get that buy-in, that psychology thing you talk about.
Well, and listen, that endorsement, right? When they come in and they give you that introduction and say, look, this is my friend Grant. Listen to what he has to say. He's got this great program. You should consider it.
Yeah.
Like instantly you get 100% utilization as opposed to, hey, there's a guy in the break room. If you want to listen to him, he's got something he's going to sell you.
Good.
Yeah, he's going to sell you something.
So you were doing a collaborative.
I just understood the value of getting that introduction and creating an environment conducive to success.
Where did you learn that?
So between my education, right, in college, and then also just through observation. I'm one of those people I kind of see in pictures and I see in stories. And so as I was observing things occurring, I kind of went, oh, that makes sense. That's why that's working. And so I actually had a college intern who was, his father was in the insurance business, said, oh, you should sell this product. And we ended up becoming one of the fastest growing agencies for that product for a while. And then I left and I moved to Chicago and pioneered that market. And then to LA eventually, in the last organization prior to taking the role that I'm in today was, over $32 million, had about 500 people, and now it's expanded to this next level.
What will the group do this year?
$250 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah. And our book is probably several billion, right, of insurance revenue that's coming in every single month.
How many people, those are impressive numbers, how many people do you need to see, hire, work with to end up with a group of 5,000?
I mean, it's a lot, right? I mean, we
see, because when I ask you how big your group is, you don't tell me about your turnover.
No.
And I think a lot of people out there that are trying to grow their company are like, I can't find good people. Dude, how many you got now?
Yeah, it's a constant.
So well, let's talk about the two you have.
Well, and you've got to relentlessly upgrade the talent, right? So I talk about this all the time. If you have a vision, like I want to grow to 500 million by 2020, right? That's probably a little bit, aggressive. But let's say it's 2024 that we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
I have to be relentlessly pursuing upgrading my talent. A healthy business is a growing business, and if you're not adding people to your organization, you're stagnant. Right?
Right.
And so you always have to be identifying talent. And truthfully, in today's environment, what's changed dramatically is that talent finds you. You don't go and find talent, right? You probably, sales guys who want to learn the art.
Why though? Why are people finding you? Because that's not happening for most companies out there. Most companies don't have people walking in every morning like we do. Saying I want a job here.
So I think that I use this illustration of a lighthouse and a tugboat, that most businesses, whether it's clients or whether it's talent, you operate like a tugboat, right? You go out, there's one ship in the harbor, you go after that ship, and it's susceptible to human failure, mechanical failure.
A lot of effort.
It's really expensive. Gas, all this other kind of stuff, and you can only get so many ships at a time.
Right.
And the weather can change, right? So the job market can change.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is to turn your organization into a lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And when your organization becomes a lighthouse, what happens is there's no limit to the number of people you bring in or the number of clients. They come to you.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the ingredients of a lighthouse business or lighthouse entrepreneur?
I mean, I think, for me, in our organization, it's training, it's purpose, it's vision, it's a well-articulated direction that you're going to go in. It's a commitment to success. It's compensation. It's all those things. I mean, I see businesses fail all the time because they underpay their people. They undervalue them. They don't treat them right. They're not really.
You're going to make a lot of fans
their,
right now saying that, man. Everybody wants more money.
Well, and they're not concerned about the success of the person. Right. It starts with the people.
Yeah.
Talent is the great differentiator between one company and another, one organization and another, and so it's a battle for the best talent. Google doesn't fight for talent.
Right.
Google,
they're a
people
lighthouse.
They're a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone's a lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
I saw a guy coming in here for an interview today, right? Just
Yeah.
showed up. I want to work here.
From where? Where was he from?
I don't know.
John, where was that guy from today?
I think he's from like Poland or something like that.
No, man, that's where he's originally from, but I think he flew in from Cleveland, actually. He left the Republican convention and drove down here.
So, I mean, if you think about that, right, is that when your business can become ubiquitous in society, whether it's success, and for me, it's about this is the place to launch your career. This is the place to learn the tools of the trade, right? I think if I want to do something, if I want to go and be a badass in real estate, I'm gonna go work and try and get work for Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I recently said in an episode, if you're that candidate, man, go out there, and there's never been better access. You have the best gatekeeper I think I've ever come across in Katie. I mean, she was screening the heck out of me and
But was she polite?
She was polite.
Okay.
We got to do some research, sir, and But today, between Twitter and Periscope and you can actually follow Grant Cardone on Twitter and then hit him up and say 10x like blah blah blah, or hit him on Periscope. And start to build connection and relationship. And you can, if you're a thought leader.
And you can also use the telephone or visit. I mean, this guy coming down here didn't just depend on social media.
And so it's all of those things, right, that you can actually go and make an impression, right? You always used to be able to walk into a place and say, I want to work here. But today, I have the ability to connect with you over social media. We didn't have a conversation. We traded back and forth.
Right.
And
well, I reached out to you actually.
Right.
I don't think you sent something to me.
No, you reached out to me initially.
Because of some content he put out that was legit. He says game knows game.
Yeah.
And look, this is Ask a Pro, okay? Every week we do a show called Ask a Pro where we bring somebody in, me or Robert, bring somebody in and talk about, hey, what do you know that other people don't know? And this is what this cat told us today about salespeople. If you want to be a great salesperson, you got to figure this entrepreneur. I mean, this is what I got from your interview. You got to wake the entrepreneur up. Also, I heard his scores in life have always been as a result of observation. I don't know if he knows that, but it's when he was 13 years old, plowing and like, damn, this is hard, man. This is hard. I don't know. I guess that's how you do snow.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's like, this is hard. Is there an easier way? And he went and took money, exchanged money for a better way. And then he started blowing it, right? Then you found out he could blow 4 or 5 or 6 in a day. And he's like, damn, that was hard too.
Yep.
Went and did his little snow angels, sat there and said, is there a better way? But that's about observation. That's about entrepreneurship. And then the salesmanship is what allowed him to then go out and build a sales team of 5,000 people. I heard you say, be a practitioner, stay in the game, man. There's no monopoly on ideas. How you handle disappointment, right, determines results. You said something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
100%. You got them all.
Any last words you got for the audience out there that wants to be where you're at, bro? Because you're living in LA now. You got a sales team of 5,000 are out selling something for you right now today, some insurance.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
You know?
I hope they're selling a lot.
Don't you?
I do.
So what are you going to do today with managing those guys? Like, what does a day look like in Adam Michaels?
A lot of phone conversations, a lot of reaching out, a lot of talking to key players. And
what are you asking them? Let's say you call me today. I'm one of your top producers.
I want to know what's going on. What do they land? What are the challenges? I mean, everyone, each of those. When you deal with an organization like this, I'm dealing with some HR issues. I'm dealing with navigating through leadership change. I'm dealing with, but But I mean, a lot of it is just
what's it
how's
called?
your
Like,
family?
how's it going? What
How's
can
it
I do?
going? Yeah, what how can I help you? And really listening.
Yeah.
Right, being present. I think that's probably the biggest challenge that I have today is being present. Whether it's at home, with my family, with my wife, at work, being present in a conversation with one person. Like it's very easy right here for me and you to be present with one another.
Right.
But when the cameras are off and
Yeah.
I'm on a phone and my email's got 140 emails in it, and I've got my wife online too, like it's hard to stay present in this call.
So who wins that call? The call, the wife, or the emails?
Usually the call, and my wife reads me the riot act, right?
Oh, really?
Oh, she kills me. She kills me.
This how
You
it
got to
goes.
change over.
This is how it goes in my butt. Baby, I'm on the phone. She'll be like, close the deal.
Yeah, I mean,
Close the deal, dude.
yeah.
Adam Michaels, okay, the website is adamhmichaels.com. If you have any questions for Adam, just put them in below. Could be about entrepreneurship. You can tell the guy, the guy's on his game, so his company's going to do how much this year?
250 million.
250 big boys. Got to be something left for you.
Yeah.
How much? How much you going to make this year?
Probably close to 2.
Yeah, $2 million earner, man. Ask a
I mean,
pro, bro.
that's just the one. I've got other businesses and stuff too.
Yeah. You like this better than doing the snow plowing?
Yeah, this is better. I mean, I'm changing lives, right? I was just giving people access.
You were changing their life too, man. You were making
Making
it
it
possible
easier.
for them to roll out to work. Hey, thank you for being here. If you know somebody that is a pro in their space, a real pro, okay, because game knows game, and I can always tell. I got to tell you, I know when somebody's sitting there the real deal or not. If you know somebody that's like that, if that's you, okay, call Robert and we'll get you on Ask a Pro. Thanks a lot for watching. Awesome.